Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Apologies in advance for not being able to do a tabletop review today because the firearm we have is too big for the tabletop. So unfortunately, you're stuck looking at my ugly mug, but as much as possible, I'll try to cover it up with the awesome FN PS90. Again, we're not fit on tabletop, so I'll try to do as best a job as possible as talking about this very cool, futuristic, retro styling, awesome gun as I can, as I do a walk around. This will just be a look at the weapon itself. I promise you I'll have follow-up videos coming really soon at the range where I finally get to shoot this thing. And I'll try to do a comparison video. I'm thinking against the SP5. That's one of the guns that I love to shoot the most. And I think this should be soft recoiling like that. So stay tuned for that video, hopefully in the coming weeks. But right now, the FN PS90, this is the civilian version of FN's P90. A gun that was designed in the late 80s, and I believe production went in around 1990. A couple of key differences though. This one does not have the option to be fully automatic like the military versions do, and the P90 has a shorter barrel. This is technically a rifle with a 16-inch barrel. The P90 has a much shorter barrel. I want to say maybe half this distance. Maybe it's like 8 or 9 inches or so. So even more compact. Even though this has a 16-inch barrel, it is very, with the bullpup design, where the barrel comes all the way back here, it is very compact and easy to maneuver in smaller spaces. I can't imagine how cool this firearm would be with the shorter barrel. So again, I always forgot to mention this earlier. If you have experience with the PS90 or thoughts on it, good or bad, please sound off in the comments, because people who are researching these firearms, I think, find great value in your unfiltered feedback. So thanks for watching, and please do sound off if you know things about the PS90. This gun is on loan from a friend, a very awesome friend who has fantastic guns, and he actually has an EOTech optic on here. I'm not going to talk too much about the optic because there's some really cool features in the rail up here that I'll talk about when we get to it. But again, the other thing that really stands out is the styling on this gun, right? It just looks incredibly cool. I've seen it in print before, and I never realized how cool it was till I saw it in person. It's way better in person. And I would have thought those curvy designs with the holes were kind of gimmicky, but it turns out they are incredibly ergonomic. The second you pick it up, you realize how perfect it is. All the placement's perfect. It's, again, very compact, very easy to put against your shoulder and maintain a good grip here, and your hand naturally fits right here, and you have room in the trigger guard to just hold the gun comfortably and do what you need to do to fire. So super ergonomic, super easy to maneuver. I can't wait to shoot it to see how it shoots. I'm sure being the 5.7 by 28 round, it won't have a lot of recoil, maybe loud. Do have a flash hider on there, but I'm anxious to see how it shoots the 5.7 by 28 cartridge. Again, this gun was designed for that cartridge. If my research is correct, and thanks to Ian at ForgottenWeapons.com, I believe this gun was designed in the late 80s and went into production in the early 90s because the Belgians were somewhat concerned that they could be invaded by the Russians, and if the Russians were wearing body armor, they did not have a way to defeat that. So the low-weight, high-pressure cartridge of the 5.7 by 28 was developed in combination with this awesome firearm, as well as the pistol, the 5.7, at the same time. So that's kind of the origin of where this came along. Just a need for body armor piercing ammunition and weaponry, and that's where this guy came along. He's been in production since the 90s and still looks amazing today. I don't think a lot has changed, maybe some details on the pick rail. This is a bullpup design, again 16-inch barrel in a very compact form where the barrel comes back to here. One thing I love about it, it is 100% functionally ambidextrous. One thing about bullpups that I've always struggled with, I always wanted an AUG, but an AUG ejects right in front of your face with the bullpup design. I could buy a left-handed bolt, but then when my kids shoot it, it's going to eject in their face. So I don't love that. This gun is truly ambidextrous because you don't have that concern with the ejection pattern because everything ejects out of the bottom here. So very cool that all your shells are spent going down versus in front of your face. Love that feature. It also has a fully ambi charging handle. You have one here and one here. So left hand or right hand, you can charge the weapon. So also a very cool feature. It has an ambi safety, which I hope I can get on the camera here. Right here under the trigger guard, you have fire and safe, works both left hand and right hand, easy to actuate, so super intuitive. I will show, well, I'll show clear in a second. I'll pull the trigger for those that care about those things. So 100% fully ambi. Even the sighting, which I'll talk about in a second, is ambi, which is super cool. The other cool thing, in addition to the long barrel and a short profile and the cool ergonomics and the ambi, is this magazine. This thing has massive capacity, holds 50 rounds in this very unique magazine. Also, the mag release is ambi. You pull back here with both hands, and it's hard to do on camera, sorry. And just raise the back up, and this magazine pops out. So very cool translucent magazine that holds 50 rounds of very expensive ammunition. So 50 rounds may cost you 40 bucks or 50 bucks, depending on what you buy, even more for the good stuff. But a very cool magazine, translucent, so you can see what's going in there. And a very cool feature. I hear these are a pain in the butt to load, so I'll let you know once I go shooting. But as you insert the bullet into here, the round turns sideways as it fills up and rotates as it comes out. And get that magazine, it feeds directly into here. And you can see it sits on top there. So there's what it looks like without the magazine in there. And then I'll show clear for those that care. They're all clear in there. And take a look at the trigger on this thing. I'm trying to do it left-handed. So the trigger, I read, is nothing to write home about, but it feels fine to me for a submachine gun. But it doesn't fire when the safety's on. But again, super easy to actuate that with my finger. I say that if I'm not looking. So there's the trigger, loud bang. One more time. I think the trigger feels totally fine. I'm assuming you can shoot this pretty fast because the reset is super short, and there it goes, bang again. So again, I'll spend time at the range with it and do lots of video to help show you that. So incredibly cool gun. I can't wait to shoot. The last thing I'll talk about is this pretty interesting rail system up here. Without the magazine in there, it's almost used as a carry handle if you wanted. And again, this one does have an EOTech optic on there. But there's actually 3 sighting options on there. It has a pick rail, so you can install any option you want to. Maybe one a little thinner, I'm thinking. But there are 3 options for shooting with iron sights on top here. And I'll try to get as close as possible. In the center, you'll see a hole right there. She'll show how close I can get. That hole is a peephole that aligns with this front post right there. So it shoots just like an H&K SP5. You can look through there and see your front sight and put the sight where the bullet's supposed to go. Very cool, right? But it even also has ambi blade sights, just like a pistol would have. So if you look right here, if I can get this on camera, right there, you'll see a rear sight. Also over here, a rear sight. So if you are shooting either left-handed or right-handed, on either side, you align those rear sights with these front posts, which are right here. Hard to see, sorry. There's the front post, kind of blurry right here. There's also one on this side. So you have 3 sighting systems, iron sights on the left or right, and the peep sight with the front post in the center. So very cool gun with lots of very interesting features. And again, I'm obviously very excited about it, and I can't wait to get to the range. I promise I'll video coming out soon on that. As always, love to hear your thoughts on the PS90. Love it, hate it, and what else do I need to know about this gun? Thanks again for watching, and if you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks again.